So let's talk about some of these cells. So this is one potential source of cells. This is a Makita. It's a BL1815 cell, 18 volts, 24 watt hours. Anybody who has the Makita set knows what this is. This was my brother's cell. But it's got these little itty bitty security screws in there, which I think you can just about see. There we go. So let's open one of these up. Let me grab my, this is not a plug, I just happen to own one of these, my iFixit security kit. And I've done this a couple of times now. I know which one it is. But I can never pull the damn things out because these big fat fingers. This is actually really difficult with a bum finger. This is a really crappy workspace right now. I've junked it up pretty good. So the history behind this cell, this is my brother's battery pack, and he didn't use it that much and let it run down. Now these Makita cells, these Makita packs are pretty decent. They last well enough while you're using the tool, whatever it might be, cortisol, whatever accessory you've bought. But like most lithium-ion packs, and if you don't know this, you will know, they don't like being left alone. And the reason is, now let's go ahead and get this thing open. This just slides open. And there's nothing really obvious yet as to what's in here. We have a little rubber bump pack, which is good. Kudos to Makita for including this. This here is what an older version or a later version looks like in another cell. I've opened 3 of these packs up right now. Anyway. So this just pops off and you see that we have 5 18650 cells in here. Now, I don't know how well this will come up on camera. Let's grab my light and see if I can illuminate these. Alright, so these are Sony's SE-US 18650 OVT. Overexposed. Having to shoot on a cell phone. Anyway, these are, I found out, much to my dismay, they are 1300 milliamp hour batteries. This is a cell out of another pack. Same one. This is an OVT. Yep. So the data sheet says they're 1350 or 1300 milliamp hours. Not the 2 amps that they would like you to think that they say on the packaging. Bad, 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 Makita. Now, what makes this cell interesting and what hurts this cell ultimately, or this pack in the long run, is this right here. This is the battery tender, battery BMS, battery management system, over current protection, probably overcharge protection, and any number of things are built into this thing. But this circuit board is run by 2 of these cells, and it's kind of unclear which 2, because I've had 2 different cells in 2 different packs fail. In one pack it was cell 1 and 2 that had failed, and in another pack it was cell 1 and 3 that had failed. So I don't know if they kind of shift where they connect them, or in different versions or revisions of the battery. Do they do different things? I've definitely seen 3 different ways they've built these now. Each one of these has been a little bit different, even though they all have the same BL1815 model number on the bottom of them. At any rate, this circuit board runs off 2 of these batteries, and if this is left to sit long enough, a few months, it will drain those 2 cells down. Now I'd be willing to, but I haven't tested this cell yet, so we're going to learn this for the first time. Let me grab my digital multimeter, and we're going to reset it because it was off. Oh good, you can see this in the shot. Nice. So we're going to measure each one of these and see where they're sitting. Now you have to be careful when you're doing this, because if you touch the 2 together, it will spark an arc, and if there's any juice left, you'll know. Let's do this the easier way. Let's pull this tape here off as best we can. And since I'm probably going to TKO this pack anyway, I'm not really worried about salvaging it for repairability, because herein lies the other fault with Makita batteries. This circuit board I found out through internet, thank you internet people, you guys are awesome, has a microcontroller in it, as most of them do. However, this particular microcontroller, when it detects a bad pack for whatever reason, a dead cell, dead cells, it will report to the battery charger that this pack is bad. And in doing so, it will not charge the pack. If that charger sees that condition on that pack 3 times, that's 3, count them, 1, 2, 3, it will never, ever, ever charge that pack again. Now, there are rumors that you could charge it on a different charger, and I happen to have another one here, because this one does not work at my job, which is where my brother was using this. We worked at the same place at one point. And I have not plugged this into my charger here, just to try this out. But first I want to see what the condition of each of these cells are. So we're going to measure this top one, and that's measuring 3.17. That's not 0. It's not perfect, but it's not bad. So I'm going to take a marker, wherever I put my marker, here it is, and write on this cell 3.17, just as a reference point. And if you guys see here, there's a little line here. This is the positive side of the battery, and this is the minus. So if you want, you could just label them. Ooh, that's my other battery done. Charge complete, 885 milliamps. However, I know it put more in there. Alright, anyway. And we'll continue. So plus, minus, plus, minus. Okay, so 3.7 volt, 3.17 volts on that cell. Let's go ahead and check the rest of them. Cell number 2, 3.19. That cell is okay. Okay. Well, okay-ish. Some people argue if they're below 3.5 volts, it ain't worth it, blah, 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 blah. Ah, here we go. Here's one that is dead. 0. So we're going to write 0 on that. But we're going to try something here. Here's another one. 0 volts. And I'm willing to bet this last one's probably okay. Yep, 3.19. So because of this reported voltage here, you see that 2 of these cells are reading 0 volts. And that is because, most likely, the discharging circuit, this battery monitor, is physically connected to these 2 cells somehow, some way. However, that doesn't seem to be the case. I don't see any additional wires there. So why these 2 in the middle decided to fail, I'm not real certain. I don't know the methodology by how Makita designed this thing to work, because I see that there's a monitor on this side, and it's connected to the beginning and end. I'm just curious, what's the overall pack voltage? Probably right around 9 volts. Yep, 9.55 volts. That should be closer to 4.2, so right around 20 or so volts. Which is marketing wank, because, yeah. Anyway, so let's see if we can't recover these. Now that this one's done, what we're going to do here is I'm going to disconnect my balancing plug, disconnect my charge adapter. Let's go ahead and fully disconnect that. We're actually going to use my new battery here to operate my charger. So I'm going to pull the plug out. And notice power's down. And I'm going to grab my let's reset myself here. Reset my adapter. Or grab my adapter. So this one here plugs into the back. So first I'm going to plug this into the battery. ha. Put the battery up out of the way. Just because I want to use it and test it. And we're going to go ahead and plug this into here. And you'll notice this thing fires up right away. Yay! Okay, so now I'm going to do something a bit unorthodox. I'm going to grab my... I have just a generic clip lead to banana plug connector here. And I'm going to plug that in. Now, if I were to attempt to charge this the proper way, here's what's going to happen. So I'm going to connect this to my dead battery, put this on the plus, put this on the minus, okay, and then I'm going to battery setup, lithium ion, change this to single cell 3.6 volts. Its capacity is not 750. These are supposed to be 1300. So we're going to run that all the way down to 1300. La, da, 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 da. Wait. Not even paying attention. Sorry, guys. So 1300 milliamps. Charge current 1.3. Timer 120 minutes. It won't go that long because you'll get to see what's going to happen. Okay. And we go over to start. Battery voltage error. Now, why does it say that? Well, because there's 0 volt in the battery. So what we're going to do here is we're going to jump start this battery. We're going to try to anyway. I've had this success in the past. We're going to try it again. So we're going to change it to nickel cadmium. We don't want that many volts. We only want to charge it with 3.6 volts. Ugh, and I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. My battery died in my camera, aka my cell phone. So now I've got that plugged in. Yay. So we can continue this little learning session here. So I left off in the last segment, which was for you a second ago. For me, it was probably about 15 minutes ago, where we're going to drop this capacity down because we certainly don't need that many milliamps. So we're not going to let it run that long anyway. But we're going to drop it down because I don't want the charge current to be too high. To about 1.5 amps. So that's 1500 milliamps. And charge current, we're going to change that. I don't want to put that much current into it because I don't want to run the risk of overheating the cell. So 1.5 amps. And I do believe that's everything. 72-minute timer, peak voltage, not worried about that, trickle. Okay, so now we go to start. And I was thinking about if I could hook up my voltmeter, but this actually has one on here so we can see what's going on. We're going to start it. Now it's going to charge us. You can see the current there, 0.1 amps. 12 volts in. Charge voltage 0.2, and we're going to let that go. So the theory is we're going to force a little bit of voltage into this cell. We're not going to let it go for too long because I have had one of these cells heat up, and as this is charging, I'm kind of resting my fingers on it to see if it's warming up. Very scientific and highly accurate method of did I F up or not. So here's what the setup looks like. I've got my elevated clips on the battery. We are currently, let's go ahead and turn the meter on. Let's hook up the meter to it, see how many volts are going into it. Downside to being circuit error. Okay. So that may have been because I just moved everything around. I'm going to connect my meter while this is charging so that I can get an idea how many volts are going in. To you YouTubers that do this every day and shoot around a camera, I give you mad props. I'm trying to do this for the first time, and shooting around a camera is rather difficult because part of me is looking at the screen, part of me is looking at what I'm doing, and I'm finding that it's rather difficult. So right now, let's get the meter in the shot too. So right now it's showing me 0 volts. So let's go ahead and restart this. Start charge. I get that in the shot too. There we go. So right now we are up to 23, and it's slowly it's trying to push the voltage up. We'll let that go for a little bit, and I'll come back. Alright, so just an update. It's been a couple minutes, and we're getting the same error again on that cell. So let me stop this annoying beep. I tried it twice off camera, and it's not taking any voltage. As you can see here, it's at 0.1 millivolts. It's nothing. So we're going to go ahead and switch to the other cell and see if we can't revive that one. Just really at this point for poops and laughter. And we're going to connect to the negative side of that battery, and we're going to connect to the positive side of this battery. Get my voltmeter lead reconnected, and I'm just kind of wedging these down behind the springs of the alligator clips so I can get a measurement on it. Oh well, that seems to be backwards for some reason. It's reading negative voltage. That is weird. I'm on the negative. Yeah, I'm on the negative. Alright, let's try this one. Oh, look at that. You can't see that. This one's climbing pretty quickly. So this cell here may actually be salvageable. Maybe. We'll see what we get up to. If we get up to 3 volts, then we'll put it on the... There we go. Alright. Alright, I'll be back in a little bit. And this cell did the same thing. You'll notice here that it got 300 milliamps or millivolts, and now it's steadily dropping back down to 0. Got the same circuit error, so I'm be willing to bet these two cells are completely toast internally. Probably shorted, something to that effect. So I will not be able to salvage those two cells. But that doesn't mean I can't repair this pack. And I'm hesitant to try because I don't have any extra good 18650s laying around. I have one, I need 2. I have a bunch of these blue ones here, but these came out of a rigid pack, but that one also is 0. Now I can certainly try the recovery on this one and to see if I can't bring it back, but I'll have to come up with some way to connect a charger to it since I don't have... I tore the tabs off this too. So let me see if I can find something to hook it up, and I'll be back. Alright, so here's what I came up with. I have a couple of these old hard drive magnets I took out, which are neodymium, rare earth magnets, and they're just strong enough to clip on there. So we're going to try to see if we can recover this cell. Again, we're just going to try. It probably won't work, but we'll give it a shot. So I'm going to connect my clip lead there. Let me get this out of the way for now. Connect this clip lead here. Move my camera because now tangled up in this rat's nest. Alrighty. Turn the meter back on since that decided to shut itself off. Thank you, power save mode. Alright, let's see if we can get this in the scene. So we're seeing we're 0.1. And we're going to go ahead and give it a shot. And see what happens with this one. And it's climbing pretty quickly. 106. Now it's dropping again. Climbing, dropping, climbing, dropping. Not a whole lot's happening here. Okay. Let's try something a bit more drastic. Give it a little bit more voltage. That's probably bad. Let's not do that much. Okay, let's see what happens now. 81. Now, it's not even getting any higher. What is this doing right now? This is... Alright, let's stop that. Let me disconnect it from the charger. And switch over to resistance. Wow, isn't that interesting? 0.6 ohms. I'm curious, what is a quote-unquote good one? Now, that should go to OL. Yep. Well, pulled a Casey Neistat, knocked over my camera. So this is a good-ish battery. Its internal resistance is in the millions of ohms, 7.1 million ohms. Just by comparison, its voltage is sitting at 3.6 right now. So if I were to attempt to charge that, so let's go back to my charger. Lithium, no, it's not polymer, it's lithium ion. This is a 1300 milliamp capacity battery. Come on, there we go. Oh, wait. I know what I did. Oh. It helps if you plug your charger leads back into your charger. Because I'm a goofball, I didn't do that. Okay. Try that again. Oh, geez, oh man. If it isn't one thing, it's another. This actually has to be connected to the battery. Okay, there we go. Now let's try it. Hey, charge current. Okay. So, 3.99, it climbed up pretty quickly. Now you knock it loose. It's going to start this again. 4.09. And we'll let that go and I'll bring you back. Alright. Almost 100 minutes later, and we are fully charged on this cell now. 4.08 volts. It only took 688 milliamps. On an interesting side note, this entire time lapse and charging cycle was done on that battery pack, and the voltage coming in only dropped, let's see if it shows up here again, 11.89 volts from 12.02 in about an hour. So that's pretty reassuring to me that I'll get at least quite a few charges on these smaller cells when I take them out in the field to charge them. So I'll keep you posted on how my battery pack does in the field, how well it works charging multiple packs, how many. I'll try to get a count on how many charges I get, and if I make an attempt to repair this pack here and try it, I will certainly put that in the video, but I'll have to get creative cutting these cells out and then reconnecting them. I don't have a spot welder, and I really don't feel like making a spot welder for something I can just solder that'll work well enough for what I'm doing. And I'll see if I can bring the cell back to life. So until next time, thanks for watching, guys. Peace out. Grr, stay put.